Comfy shoes? Check. Water bottle? Check. Excitement through the roof? Double check. You've pushed aside your fears, put your job on hold, and now you're on a plane to Spain for the pilgrimage of a lifetime. Today, actor and writer Andrew McCarthy is back to share his top 5 tips for walking the Camino de Santiago. So, let's begin this epic journey, one step at a time.
Andrew, tell us, what is something that might not seem essential, but you should make space for to bring with you?
You need less than you think you need. Really, that's tip 1, 2, 3, 4. Tip 5 would be have just comfortable walking shoes and not hiking boots. You don't need them.
Broken in shoes, ideally, not brand new shoes that are going to tear your skin off.
Exactly.
What's something you thought you would need, but wasn't necessary at all?
The first time I walked in, I brought a tent. I brought heavy clothes. I brought everything. You know, I had a 40-pound pack, and by the time I came home, I think I had 10 pounds in that pack. You don't need anything. Really, you don't. You need sneakers and a pair of shorts and a T-shirt and, you know, a sweatshirt for the evening. And there are little towns along the way, so you can pick up things that you...
And do you do laundry along the way? I saw you guys did some laundry.
I would do my laundry every night in the sink of my hotel. It's a wonderful, humbling sort of thing. I would do my laundry in the sink. I'd wash my T-shirt and underwear and socks in the sink and hang them up in the morning. They'd be dry, put them back on and go again. There's something really wonderful about realizing how little we can survive on and how little we need. Because in our life of accumulation and wanting, to strip down to that, and you'll never do it otherwise, was a wonderful side effect. I didn't think I'd get that. That's not why I went walking. But it was a wonderful thing to understand.
What is your pro tip for keeping your feet comfortable when they're your main mode of transportation?
Get shoes that fit. Change your socks. And in Spain, I don't know what it's called, but there's this foot ointment. It's not legal here, I don't think, but it's like an elixir. You just walk into any drugstore in Spain and you just go, andiamo el camino, and they go, and they give it to you. They give you this elixir. Oh my God. I've rubbed it on my feet every morning and night. It saved my life.
You guys listen to a lot of music. You listen to some audiobooks. Is one of those better than the other, or is the sound of nature better, or does it change kind of with your mood? What do you recommend people do?
You know, a fair number of people are very precious about it. I'm walking the Camino, I just have to unburden and I can't plug in and all that. And that's fine, that's great. We didn't feel the need for that. Most days, I'd listen to maybe an hour or so of music, and mostly we'd talk, or I like to walk in silence. You know, my personal walk was not as precious as, oh, I cannot listen to this or that, and, you know, I just must hear the sound of my own voice. I'm like, great, my own voice is going to scream at me whether I'm listening or not.
Yes,
so,
I get that.
So I think it's whatever makes people comfortable. We also didn't impose any kind of moratorium on the phone. It's like, but what was interesting over time, it eventually fell away and sort of went into its rightful place. By the end, you know, we check our phones a couple times a day, as opposed to be defaulting to it all the time, every 5 minutes when we don't have something to say, or you're just whatever, you don't want to feel whatever you're feeling and just defaulting to the phone. So that kind of fell away, and that was interesting to see. Although I have to say, when I got us lost a few times, Sam on his Snapchat, on his little Snapchat map, got us back on track. So I was glad to have the phones.
I imagine that was a big change from the first time you did the Camino to the second time.
Oh, yeah,
having
the first
that
time.
Connectivity.
Yeah, I mean, the first time I remember having to go to a payphone and put a coin in and make a collect call and all that stuff. So it was much more of an effort.
To mentally prepare for a pilgrimage, what should you let go of? Or is that something you figure out along the way?
The only thing in life always, and whenever setting out on a journey, is fear, you know, and we can't let go of that until we begin. I think you just begin. And there are all sorts of excuses why we won't do things. And sure, you can find every excuse in the world not to go. On my deathbed, looking back on that trip with Sam will be one of the highlights of my life.
Andrew McCarthy, thank you for joining us, and thank you, our listeners, for being with us. If you're planning a trip, be sure to connect with a AAA travel advisor. Check out AAA.com/travel or visit your local branch. This podcast is a production of Auto Club Enterprises. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe and leave us a review. I'm Angie Orth. Thank you for traveling with AAA.